Have you ever wondered how Doom's first episode would play in Doom 2? How would it feel to use the super shotgun in the early levels? Would you accept that trade-off in exchange for fighting revenants and pain elementals? These were the kind of questions that Shamus Young was pondering in early 1996. If this is your first video of mine you've seen, allow me to introduce you to Shamus. In the mid-2000s, he gained fame on the internet for a popular blog that he updated daily going back to 2005. In the 2010s, he made the jump to YouTube, where he ran the channel 20-sided. Shamus was a prominent video game critic and enjoyed writing until he tragically passed away in June of 2022 at the age of 50. Back in the mid-90s, he was making Doom maps. This video is the final part of 4 where I have reviewed all of his Doom WADs. In 1995, he released a total of 3 WADs: Slugfest, Doom City, and Torment. I have reviewed them all, and if you want to go back and watch my previous videos, you can. Doom City is the WAD that is most remembered. On February 9th, 1996, Shamus released Phobos, Relive the Nightmare, a 9-map episode replacement for Doom 2, recreating Doom 1's first episode. All the levels are named after their Doom 1 counterparts, however Shamus changed the order of the levels. You can see that here. The military base is now slotted just before the boss level. In the text file, he describes the WAD featuring new graphics, music, and sound effects. It's all the same sounds he used previously in his WAD Torment. Shamus says here, "I have always thought that the best official Doom levels were the shareware levels. Even though they were too easy and didn't have the same monsters weapons variety that Doom 2 does, they looked better than any of the other levels." This is an attempt at bringing back the classic, realistic look of the Doom 1 levels. The story is the same as Doom 1 Knee Deep in the Dead. You must fight your way through the Phobos moonbase to the anomaly that monsters are pouring through. All the MIDI tracks were composed by Shamus, and they are somewhat different than the music he created for his other WADs. They have a more electronic and dance feel to them with heavy use of drums. Every level has been done by pistol start. This isn't a difficult WAD by any means. Discounting the first map, all weapons except for the BFG can be found in all levels. DSDA Doom is my source port of choice. I keep everything strictly vanilla and play on ultraviolence difficulty. The gentleman's way of playing Doom. We return to Phobos in front of a landing pad. The level is called Hangar, and Shamus clearly took inspiration from the title. Instead of trying to mimic E1M1, he goes in his own direction. I like the landing pad. It's nice to open this WAD to a Doom cute design. Up above you can see a zombie man on the ledge. And up the stairs we meet zombies to begin the level. Sergeants up high on both sides in alcoves. Around the back leads to this area with metal grates containing muddy radiation. This is where we meet the first imps along with more shotgunners. Behind here is the green armor. The exit awaits. I like how the top borders have lights around them. That's a nice little touch. This UAC cylinder is the only secret with a shotgun. On the ledge here, we have a better view of the landing pad. Open the door and step forward, and that's it. Each level blends together from start to finish to create the Phobos base. This is a little map designed as a set piece. There's not much to say about it. Some nice details and it looks good. Behind this pillar is a shotgun. Some shells around the other one. No time to admire the blue lighting borders since hit scanners are taking pot shots at us from below. Shamus Young's version of Computer Station is a big non-linear tech base of metallic silver corridors contrasting light and darkness. The first thing you want to get is the blue key and mega armor in this blackened room. This is easy to overlook, and if you miss this area early on, you'll spend the whole level running around in circles unable to get through the first key door. Every section of this level is filled with enemies, including Doom 2's bestiarity. I like the details in this room, flickering lights and scrolling screens. A revenant charges out of the shadows, and we only have the normal shotgun at the moment. Flip the switch here and it turns the lights on. This is a finely designed hallway that lets you see enemies move out of the shadows and into the light. Behind the cage wall, this paint elemental is a sitting duck. This wall is a secret. Inside, we have to deal with a cacodemon and a hell knight. The reward is our first soul sphere of the WAD. Through here, a trio of arachnotrons. After them, we meet our first Baron of the WAD and get to see a cacodemon impressively move out of the shadows. During my playthrough, a secret wall fell and the paint elemental flew out to infight with the Baron. In order to open the secret, you run back here and it will raise the wall. Inside is light amplification goggles that come in handy for this entire level. Behind the blue key door is this normally dark room with 3 cacodemons. The yellow key is behind the pillar, and in order to lower again, you just go outside and listen for it to fall. Go back and you collect the blur sphere that also counts as a secret. The yellow key door has Hell Knights and Mancubi eager to infight with them. The path leads to the red key. Pick up the chainsaw and brush the paint elemental's teeth. The classic miscolored wall texture is a secret. Go in and get the rocket launcher. To finish this level, you have to find the red key door. It's close to the beginning and therefore easy to overlook. It's in here, and I have to say I like the flickering light post. This revenant is the final demon. This map is gorgeous. Excellent use of lighting, shadows, and the metallic aesthetic is well done. The only problem is that everything looks so similar that you can get lost. If you don't pick up the blue key early on, you will end up running around in circles and get frustrated. The combat is decent. I like the way the enemies are positioned in big spaces. Good use of hiding hit scanners in the dark. The Revenant is well placed in an area where he can get the jump on you if you can't see him. Overall, this is a good map that is almost great. This MIDI track is my favorite of the WAD. It's easy to get shot to pieces at the beginning of this level. Shotgunners are up high on both sides. We walk alone into the dark. The hit scanner's private park. All lights feel strange. Our shotgun brings change. Fear of the dark. Fear of the dark. Shotgun guys have a constant fear that we are always near. More corridors of nostalgia echoing back to episode 1. I love this archway with the lights, especially the blue light borders. This will be a running theme throughout the WAD. Down this pathway leads us outside. I was trying to take care of the Hell Knights here when a pain elemental decided to break my concentration. Around the back is a mob of pinkies guarding the rocket launcher and arachnotrons eager to light you up. Moving around here will lower the pillar with a soul sphere. A lovely row of windows here. Up these stairs leads to a grated area with imps and a mancubus. You could get the mancubus to fire an infight with these imps, but I didn't have much luck. A cacodemon interrupted. Back here is a berserk pack to do some punching. I love punching out monsters in Doom. Down here is another cacodemon and shotgunners. More impressive architecture. I'm always interested to see what people create with the vanilla Doom textures. The arachnotrons were guarding the yellow key all this time. Another scrolling computer screen with good lights. This room right here is my favorite in the level. Lights in the dark to wash away our fears. Back in the yellow key room, a wall drops with an archvile as the final enemy. He's positioned well where he can resurrect the dead spiders if he wants to. The red key door is the exit. It's all in the little details with this map's strength and aesthetics. I love the use of blue lighting around borders. My favorite area is the pitch black room with the rows of white lights. It reminds me of John Foxx's early 80s music videos like Underpass with all the artistic use of neon lights. If you like synths and have never listened to him before, go check out the albums Metamatic and The Pleasures of Electricity. You won't be disappointed, trust me. The music track by Shamus is more upbeat and electronic than what you may be used to hearing in Doom, and that's another reason it has me thinking about John Foxx. I'm glad Shamus composed his own MIDI tracks and didn't just roll with the standard Doom MIDI soundtrack. There's enough WADs that lack music replacements. This has a different vibe to it than crunchy power chords and pentatonic guitar riffs. More silver walls and white lights. After the first room full of zombie men, you have the choice to go left or right. The right path will get you an armor in the corner, and check out this revenant arched up on a pillar. The original central processing was designed around green radiation pits. This level is similar to that. This alcove in the poison leads to a pinky with a rocket launcher and a berserk pack. It's tempting to take the path before additional exploration. If you went around the back, you would have found the radiation suit early to spare yourself some pain. Into this room with the arachnotron has imps up high on pillars. Go around the back and you'll hear something lower. Flip the switch and one of the pillars lowers with a soul sphere. Time to hop on pillars. Blur sphere. Mega armor. The yellow key is not needed to get past the door. You can simply strafe run to this plasma gun and go in that way. Here is the best fight of the map. Mancubi, pinkies, and a barren cage from another room. For all that fun, you get the red key. Back at the starting area, you can find the blue key room. The yellow key will spring a trap with an arch vial. Use the pillar for cover. With the red key, we can go to the exit switch. You may notice that all of these levels are smaller than the original Episode 1. They're well designed and highly detailed for 1996, but definitely small. I like the fights in this level, but it feels like half of a larger level. In a modern WAD, I can see where this would be the beginning or maybe even the middle part of a standard scale map. The next one coming up follows a similar theme and looks like it would blend well with this level. From the namesake alone, you know this level is going to be poisonous. The intro has slight similarities to the original E1M3. At least you get the super shotgun early, and you need it for this Mancubus who wakes up in the toxic liquid. Plenty of barrels are placed in this level to let there be jibs on hit scanners, but they can also be hazardous to the player. This level is a key hunt through linear passages with easy fights, nothing overwhelming whatsoever. I think you're supposed to save the radiation suit for the end, however, it might not matter. Stepping into the poison with no armor will make you lose 20% health at the snap of a finger. The red key is in the toxic sludge. The exit is out here behind the green lake. Hence why saving the radiation suit for the end was important. However, I died while wearing it. As I said with the previous level, this one and map 4 are so small that they could combine into a single level themed around toxic waste. I don't know why I died while wearing the radiation suit at the end. It happened to me twice, and fortunately I was able to capture footage of one of these deaths. I remember a section of Mount Erebus in the original game where you still took damage while wearing the radiation suit far out in the lava, so I guess it has to do with coding the damage floor. I didn't load this up in Doom Builder to look, so my assumption may be incorrect. From the name Nuclear Plant, what is the first artistic idea that springs to your mind? If E1M2 is not your immediate thought, you might be thinking some kind of power plant. A tall building with long elevators. That is the best way to describe this level. If you don't know to press that pillar and get the secret shotgun early, this level is painful for pistol start players. There's a Revenant up high and he can get a homing rocket on you despite the height difference between you and him. The elevators are slow. A Cacodemon is your first real threat, and trust me, you don't want to be stuck with just the pistol to fight him in this narrow corridor. After collecting the super shotgun, these monsters aren't much of a threat anymore. This map is designed around tight spaces for close quarters combat. The blue key opens to this big room with many computer panels, giving the impression that this is some kind of control area for the nuclear power. A Mancubus can jib these zombie men, but I didn't have much luck getting him to. The pain elemental is the real threat. Back here is blue armor, and I ran out of ammo. Thankfully, Shamus likes to put boxes of shells and bullets in corners, so this wasn't entirely stressful. This misaligned texture leads to a secret. The pillar is slow to move down, showing us a Revenant dancing with the Soul Sphere. This big room has Arachnotrons, Pinkies, Hell Knights, and Caged Imps. There's a wide space if you want to run around, but the Pinkies will be a bit of a hassle. The light amplification goggles take the horror elements out of this Baron fight in case you didn't find them first. Here's how the room looks without them. Great use of lighting and therefore good atmosphere. Leap of faith. To reach the yellow key door, you have to backtrack to the start of the level and ride every elevator up. Eventually you find this door. Step in with caution to avoid the reactor pit. Sergeants are stationed outside. After them are Pinkies, a Hell Knight, and a Baron who will come out of the doorway and chase you around the pit ledges if you mess around a bit. Nice to see more of these blue lights as a border. This structure has got to be the nuclear reactor. I can't think of anything else it's supposed to be. The scrolling textures must be some kind of controls. If you fall down there, you can't get back up. It's just a damaging floor to deplete your health. To leave the level, you have to backtrack again and find the red key door. Pistol starting every level, this one can feel intimidating at first. It all comes down to if you can find the secret shotgun early on. This is another map with very good architecture. It tries to be a real nuclear facility with vanilla textures. I like the reactor pit. That's my favorite bit of the level. It almost makes me think of the end of Return of the Jedi and the pit in the Death Star. Thankfully, in this map, there is no way for Palpatine to somehow return. I also like the outside computer control. That looks like a real environment. I don't like the start with the Revenants on pillars, but other than that, the fights are fine. Blue and gray are the colors of this level's theme. We're in a non-linear laboratory full of computer controls and cramped spaces with good monster placement. There are some fun fights here despite the low amount of enemies. Of all the maps in this WAD, this is the one where Shamus goes the distance to challenge a pistol start player. The map isn't hard, apart from some of the areas looking eerily similar to one another and leading you to get lost. The MIDI track is more aggressive with faster drums creating a frantic but danceable vibe. I like this decoration with the chain gun and clips. The blue key area has 2 Hell Knights and some good dark areas. I messed around here and almost got myself killed trying to get one of these guys to move out of the shadows. In the blue key room has a cacodemon in the shadows. Press this wall to lower the rocket launcher. In the yellow key area, you can ride this pillar and do a leap of faith to the Soul Sphere. Blue lights on the rising stairs. The final fight is 4 revenants in this large room. You can go back here in a wall lower for the monster closet. Inside is a computer area map in green armor. I believe this was the hardest map of the WAD. It's still easy compared to maps in classic Mega WADs. This WAD was not meant to challenge players like Plutonia or Memento Mori. The heavy use of blue textures is a good change of pace, and it still goes well with the blue lighting borders that are used often. The best part of this map is the lighting. It has some good atmosphere to it despite the upbeat electronic dance club music. I like the keyboards in these tracks, but the drums are just too upbeat for me. The hi-hats are the driving force in the tempo. I think if you slowed the drums down or even got rid of them altogether, some of these tracks have dark keyboard riffs underneath all those layers of drums. After fighting our way through every part of the Phobos facility, we arrive at the military base. Flip the switch and raise the bridge to enter the metallic building. Silver, blue, and gray with white lights pave the way forward in this penultimate level. Shamus Young's military base is nothing like the original secret level of Doom's first episode. Instead, he creates a non-linear design structure that somewhat resembles a real military base absent of any barracks and living quarters. All of the Doom 2 monster roster gets used here with pain elementals, mancubi, and revenants for risky situations. The combat isn't hard, but it's a big step up from the previous levels. I like this computer decoration. Doom Cute approved. I like these hallways with the shadows too. Good use of multiple textures. The heart of this level is a key hunt, and you have to find them in a specific order, beginning with the blue key. This room with the archvile is the only real trap of the level, and he guards the red key with a mancubus. He is well placed in a spot where he can target you or spend his time resurrecting shotgunners. To get the yellow key, we must go outside. More Doom Cute windows, always a pleasure to see. There's a whole balcony to traverse outside that will lead to the yellow key, and we can get the megasphere we saw at the beginning. The radiation suit is for players who like to swim in the slime. It's nice to see this again. Blue key, yellow key, red key. More great architecture and aesthetically pleasing designs. The combat is better in this level and uses the Doom 2 enemies well. If you watched my review of Slugfest, you'll notice the ending with the key doors. I thought that was a cool little touch to finish it off. The brown hellish door at the end is a nice nod that we're past the knee-deep stage and about to see what hell is doing. I like this level better than the original military base in Doom 1. I always felt like that level was the lone weak link in Episode 1. What waits for us at the end? Are we expecting a boss, maybe? We're in a strange place with invisible walls. I don't think we're in a place made by humans anymore. Hell has begun taking over the Phobos base from the teleporter they invaded. Something isn't right about all this. Why does this feel so unsettling? A pentagram above and a marble bafflement tile. Something wicked is coming. No bruiser barons for us to meet. The final battle is against a horde of demons pouring in from the teleporter. The forces of hell are coming, and it's up to us to circle strafe around the altar. Some demon-on-demon infighting slows them down between our shots. The Pain Elemental is the only monster who can make this fight difficult. Halfway in, an Archvile spawns, and he might be able to zap you if he's not busy raising the dead. You can fight the monsters first, or go ahead and flip that switch. It lowers the bars at a very slow speed while you wait around and mow down demonic invaders. There's enough ammo and health laying around in case you get uncomfortable. An Arachnotron is always the last enemy to spawn in, at least in my playthroughs. He always comes in several seconds after everything is dead. Standing here amidst the corpses as we wait for the bars to lower, we are truly knee-deep in the dead, quite literally. Take one last look at all the carnage, death, and destruction. In the text file for this WAD, Shamus says that level 9 is very unusual. There are some very special effects that make this level unique. I'm not sure what he was referring to. Maybe the invisible walls? That was unusual. The teleporter ambush is one of his signature moves that he used at the end of Slugfest, and also in Map 2 of Torment. In the end, I would say this is a good WAD, and I actually find it to be underrated. This did not finish in the top 10 WADs of 1996. Doom City is credited as an honorable mention Mist Kako Award, but I've never seen this WAD mentioned by anyone except for the writer on the One Man Doom blog. Of all of Shamus Young's Doom WADs, this one is the second best next to Doom City. The attention to detail with the vanilla tech-based textures is so well done. I love how he used the blue lights for borders and designing stuff with the silver and blue textures. That is very well polished for 1996. The only real criticism you can give is that the levels are so small and compact, but that's also one of the good things about it. You can beat the whole WAD in about 30 minutes, similar to the early levels in Scythe. When the PlayStation version of Doom came out, if you played on ultraviolence difficulty, some of the Doom 2 monsters were placed in the Doom 1 levels. Their placement always felt so random, like in E1M1 there is a pain elemental in the secret area. You just ask yourself, what's the point of that? I think if anyone working at Midway had played this WAD, they could have considered offering Shamus a job. He understood how to use the Doom 2 monsters effectively in Episode 1, even in times when you're limited without the super shotgun. He does a better job at using the Doom 2 enemies than PlayStation Doom randomly throwing in a single chain gunner or a revenant in an early level. If I could ever nominate a WAD that was left out of the top 10 Kako award list, and with the year of 1996, I would pick this. This is a real underrated gem buried within Doom history and worth playing even in 2026. Shamus Young, programmer, author, composer, blogger, brother, husband, father. You are not forgotten. 30 years later, people are still playing your Doom levels. I hope that these videos inspire more people to go back and check out these old WADs. Shamus only made 4 WADs, but they're all pretty fun and have solid designs. Thank you for watching.